On to Gary Richard Bailey, a former goalkeeper for Manchester United. He joins us on the line now all the way from Namibia. Gary, if you can just allude us to how the reaction is unfolding in Namibia, where you are at the moment.
I think it's probably the same all around the world. It's shock and deep reverence here for Madiba. But interesting enough, I took the family to see the movie last week in Joburg, and we went to Liliesleaf first, to where most of the guys were arrested, and we saw the movie, and it was just a very, very emotional evening. And then, of course, with the passing of Madiba, it's made it now emotional week for, I suppose, everybody in the world. Difficult to say something about the man that hasn't been said already, because for me, he's just the greatest person probably who's ever lived, or certainly amongst the greatest people, and that in itself is a huge tribute to the man.
But Gary, if you could paint a picture for us back in the late 80s and early 90s when there was a change taking place in South Africa's political front, didn't Madiba's influence have a positive impact on the sporting arena overall?
Well, it did. I mean, I came back in 1987 from Man United and started playing for Kaizer Chiefs in '88, and to be honest, I was only going to come back for a year or so and play a bit of football and then head off somewhere else in the world. And then they talked about releasing Madiba, and I met all the politicians through Kaizer Chiefs, and then it's just been one miracle after another, with his release, and that still stands out as one of the greatest days ever when he was released from Pollsmoor. And then leading up to the elections, Chris Hani and the assassination, and how Madiba kept the country together, which I thought was just brilliant as a politician in those moments, and again in '95 with the rugby. I mean, you can just go on and on. It's been a country, South Africa, of miracles. And all I hope is that with his passing now, that the miracles don't end, because I don't think there's too many politicians who have the same desire to serve their people as Mandela, Walter Sisulu, Governor Mbeki, and all the other greats. The current politicians, dare I say it, seem a lot more concerned about themselves. So hopefully his legacy isn't lost to us all.
And just on his legacy, everyone talks about his love for children, his strong leadership skills. Any particular areas that you hold close to your heart regarding Madiba's legacy?
Well, there's so many legacies. As I said, difficult to say something that hasn't been said about him. I met him when we were campaigning for the World Cup, and I was one of the ambassadors for the World Cup, and we met him in Cape Town. And his influence in getting us the World Cup was massive. Everywhere he went, people just revered him throughout the world, and that's what amazed me. It's not just how big he was in South Africa for us, but how when you traveled around the world and you saw, like in Zurich, when we won the World Cup, the way people greeted him, it was just phenomenal. I mean, I think we sometimes underestimate, because we know he's a great man, but we underestimate how much the world thinks of him as well. And I guess we're going to see it in the next few weeks as all the tributes pour in.
Well, Gary Richard Bailey, former goalkeeper of Manchester United, that's who we're speaking to all the way from Namibia. Thank you so much for your time.